Hey there. Today I was reading in Luke 16 and I was reading about the parable of the shrewd manager. And I'll go ahead and summarize that for you. So, in short, there was a dishonest manager. Somebody snitched on him. So, the master of the house was going to fire him and was like, get all your paperwork together. And so the manager was like, well, what am I going to do? I can't beg for work and I don't want to be embarrassed, all this and that. So he went to the people who owed his master money and he slashed their debts. He gave one person 50% off, another person 20% off. And in my study notes, it said that that was likely either him cutting down interest or cutting down his commission that he would have got on them paying their debt. And so the manager was like, you might be dishonest, but you're really clever. You're really shrewd. And so Jesus responds kind of in analyzing the parable that he just told his disciples. And in Luke 16:8, he says, yes, worldly people are more clever with their own kind than spiritual people are. And then in another translation, the next verse says, here's a lesson. Use your worldly resources to benefit others and make friends. Then when your earthly possessions are gone, they will welcome you to an eternal home. And I thought that was really interesting. And a lot of the parables that Jesus is giving previously, he's been telling this to Pharisees. But in this one, he's talking to the disciples. He's talking to people who would follow him, people who would be Christians. And he's like, you know what? People in the world know how to be smarter and more clever in dealing with other people in the world than disciples do, than people who are spiritual do. And I thought about that and I thought, you know what? That's so true. We as Christians, we don't always know how to deal with one another well. We get our feelings hurt really quickly and we start cutting people off. We start, thinking like, oh, well, that sister should have known better and I'm not dealing with that. And then we start misapplying scriptures and we start saying things like, well, I'm not throwing my pearls to pigs anymore, or I'm going to wipe the dust off of my feet and keep walking. And that's not really the heart of Jesus when it comes to dealing with one another in the kingdom. His heart is far more gracious and far more loving and far more forgiving. And then he says, here's the lessons. Use your worldly resources to benefit others and make friends so that when your worldly resources are gone or when you pass away and you're no longer part of this earth, you'll be welcomed into an eternal kingdom. And just keeping in mind that that's the goal. The goal is to get to heaven. So make friends. Be of good rapport. Be gracious. Be kind. Benefit other people in this world, and don't get your feelings so caught up so that when it comes time to enter into the pearly gates, you can be right there with them. All right, guys, have a great one.